Searching for paradise for the time of my life.
Hey everyone, this is l.shima and this is episode 9 of Be Cool. And today is Wednesday, September 10th, 2013. Yay! It is another fabulous episode, and like I mentioned earlier, but I'll mention again since I restarted this entire thing, I have my very own special guest, Jordanlehn. So round of applause. Hi Jordan, how are you doing today?
I'm great. Hello. Thanks for having me on your show.
Oh, definitely thanks for coming. I'm so sorry. Jordan has been waiting for the past 20 minutes, and as I'm trying to get everything together, throwing my nervous wreck sounds that I make, and oh my god, it was just ridiculous. But it is not lagging. It may be a shitty quality for the video for tomorrow and the entire week, but Jordan is gorgeous and she will still make it look good no matter what.
Well, we got it to work and that's all that counts. So
that's what I'm excited to. Oh my god, so happy. I'm trying to get my butterflies out of my body right now in hopes that I will just wash it all away. All right. So Jordan, I noticed that you've actually seen a few of my episodes. Is that correct?
Yes, I have.
So I really appreciate it. You kind of already somewhat know how it goes and how I am. And I mean, I kind of already described to you what, will be happening throughout this episode, but I would like to re-say it again for not only you, but as well as all of our fans that is tuning in currently. This episode is just for you. It is Jordanlehn's show. You can make this as long as you want. It can go from 30 minutes to the max is 3 hours. And I'm sure all of our fans would love to stick around for 3 hours, but maybe 2 hours is the most perfect time. But just talk however you talk in normal life. I like our conversation to be fluid and to not seem forced. Something like we just met at, a Starbucks, or we've known each other for decades and we're just getting back together and having a joyous time. But unfortunately, with that said, there are going to be a few questions that do require this typical interview type things, like who are you, what is your name, things like that. But instead of me asking that for you, I'd rather you basically give me your own personal bio. But I know that can sound very written because I'm sure you've written your bio thousands of times.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm trying to think of an awesome scenario that will make you 10 times just give it your all. Alright, let's imagine I'm trying to think. Let's imagine, do you play sports or anything?
I used to.
What sport?
I played soccer and golf.
Ooh, golf, man.
I know. Oh.
Which one was your favorite?
I'd say soccer. Looking back, probably soccer.
Alright, soccer. Alright, let's pretend you were part of the biggest soccer league in the entire world. Excuse me, I don't know. The World Cup, I guess, if they allow females to do it. I'm not a sports person, so excuse me and my, not knowing anything. But pretend you're at the biggest soccer event in your lifetime, and you're the star fucking player because you deserve it. And you have thousands and thousands of microphones in your face with cameras and newscasters, and they're just constantly bum rushing you with questions. Get that feeling that you're having at that second and tell us your basic bio that you want everyone to know about you.
Well, it's a bit different since I'm not playing soccer anymore. And I'm currently a model, but we'll kind of, I'll go with it.
Go with the flow.
Yeah. I'm Jordanlehn. That's actually my first and middle name combined. It was going to be my real name, but it wasn't, so I just go by that now. I am 20 years old. My birthday's in April. I was born and raised in Northern California. I moved to Austin, Texas, my sophomore year of high school. I've been pursuing modeling and photography since I was 12. And I started professionally or modeling full time, started professionally modeling like 3 or 4 years ago, and then full time just this January. So that's kind of my bio. I'm currently living in Austin, currently trying to travel more. I'm a free spirit, old soul, just really down to earth girl, happy-go-lucky. Yeah, I'd say that's about me. I live with my boyfriend and my 2 cats, and it's good, yeah.
You definitely got that, that feeling right on the money about, like, having the cameras in your face. I definitely felt it. I felt that energy just straight on. And that's awesome that you're that type of person. You're just so free with yourself. And I love people like yourself because it gives me a big smile on my face seeing, wonderful people like yourself doing things that they love and they enjoy and pushing the envelope and trying their hardest. So I give you my own personal l.shima applause.
You?
Applause. So you mentioned that you were born and raised in Northern California. What city or town were you? What would you call as your hometown?
Sacramento, the Sacramento area.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you said you moved to Austin your sophomore year in high school? So obviously, you're still a child, a teen. So I assume your parents moved to Austin, or did you literally hitchhike and?
No. My parents moved, and I had no choice but to follow with them. And it's good now, but it was hard.
What? For anyone that doesn't know anything about me, I wouldn't know why you wouldn't know anything about me by this point. But knowing about me, I'm born, raised Austin, Texas. So I represent hard when it comes to Austin. Oh, so hard. So you did mention though when you first moved, it was kind of fucking couldn't was it because you couldn't fit in? Is it because of the school? Is it just because it was so different from Sacramento?
Oh yeah, it's just culture shock. Moving in the middle of high school is never easy, even if it's just a high school down the road. It's hard. You have your established friends. Everyone knows who each other are, and moving to Texas from California is just like 2 different worlds. Even though people refer to Austin as the California of Texas, there's a lot of differences.
That is definitely true. I personally, when I did my travels, every place I'd go, I'd be like, have you ever been to Austin? Because I'm from Austin. And, being in, going to Oklahoma City or St. Louis, they'd be like, oh, no, but I've really heard Austin was, fucking rad. And I'm like, yeah, it super is. And then I get my ass into California. I do the same spiel, and they're like, what the fuck? It's Austin. Who gives a shit? And I'm like, yeah, but it's rad. They're like, we have everything we do, we need here in California. What can be better? I'm like, whatever.
No, I'll give it to Austin. It's a great place to be. In general, everything's just so laid back. The economy is a lot better here. So, that's the main reason we moved, was because the economy in California just crashed. So, being able to grow in Austin has been a great thing. So, I like it. I just miss, the temperatures of California, the scenery. Texas is kind of just oak trees and grass.
Wow.
I definitely miss the mountains and everything like that, but it's okay. I love Austin. I do.
Yeah, Austin has its perks. Texas, on the other hand, is you're okay, I guess, if I have to.
Yeah.
So you're a model and a photographer, and you said you started modeling at the age of 12. How was it, or how is it starting that type of path at a young age?
Well, I didn't technically start modeling at 12, but I consider myself starting at 12 because I was doing shoots every week at least, So how I explain it is basically I started doing both when I was about 12. I got my first point and shoot camera. It kind of started with getting the camera, and then I started watching Top Model. And so I was all into that. That was what I did. My whole family knew I think it was Wednesday night or Thursday night, we'd watch Top Model, and that was what we did because that's what I wanted to do. And so after that, I got my camera, and then I found a tripod. I would set it up on self-timer, and we had this shed, and it was this blue shed, and it had just a big door that was just solid. So I'd stand in front and pose, you know, and set it on self-timer and then check it out afterwards. And that's kind of where I started. I know before that what really got me interested in modeling when I was younger than 12, I was maybe 6 or 7. One Christmas, I got this 101 Dalmatian, like, dress with this little hood thing.
Oh, yeah.
And it had like, this fake fur. And I remember, like, putting it on and just feeling like I was, like, some model, you know, because, like, it was so fancy. And I was like, Mom, take my picture. And I have this one picture, and I'll have to find it and post it later, but I have this hood on, and I'm just doing, like, this little cheesy little smile, just, like, and that kind of, like, started it, you know, and then I got the point and shoot, started doing my own shoots, and it kind of just took off from there, and, like, one day I just decided that's what I want to do, you know?
Man, you definitely have to show that photo. That sounds like an epic, like, that sounds like a photo that if you got super famous and, like, so famous that TMZ follows you around and they have, like, some crazy, like, gossip about you, that's, like, the first photo they will ever show. Like,
yeah.
I'm always wondering for myself, I'm like, if that ever happens to me, I really hope they don't choose, like, the worst photo of me. Like, I can just only imagine. There's tons of bad photos of me, and I'm just like, don't choose the worst one, please.
Yeah.
Choose the goofy one.
I'm always like, well, I hope, like, and when people ask me, like, what's your first picture from your ever first photo shoot, I'd show that picture probably because back then I thought that was my first photo shoot. Like, my mom brought out her fancy camera and she set me up against, like, this pretty background in our backyard. We had 2 acres, so it was really pretty. So that was, like, my first photo shoot.
Well, that's awesome, though, that you got to have the opportunity to try it out at that age. Because unlike me, I tried it as soon as I turned 18 because I didn't want my mother around me when I was doing it. Not that she's not a good person. It was just an awkward thing that I just was like, I don't think this would be awesome. I feel like I'd just be overthinking it with my mom right there. But you starting at 12 seems fabulous. I mean, and I think personally that you started at 12. I mean, if you were booking shoots at that time and just playing around with photos and even doing photography too and having your own first point and shoot and tripod, okay, you started at that age. You rocked it.
Oh, yeah.
You represented it hard. And so you said you became full-time this past January?
Yeah, so for, I guess after, like, you know, I got the point and shoot camera out, I just kind of did it with my friends, you know, here and there. Like, I'd have my family take pictures of me. I was always known to be selfie, like, queen through high school, you know. For my MySpace pictures, like, I would just set up scenes and just go for it. But once I finally, I took this modeling and acting school thing for, like, 2 years, and it was okay to get me started and kind of give me, like, a confidence boost and kind of teach us the basics of the industry. And after that, when I turned 17, I found Model Mayhem, and that's when I started doing my first shoots.
So Model Mayhem definitely kind of was a stepping stone, basically.
Yeah. And so I did that for about 2 years. And then when I turned 19, not 19, sorry, this January, I'm getting all confused. This January I was 19, and I quit my my part-time job at the makeup counter, and I just decided, you know what, if it's now or never. If I'm going to want to, like, do modeling as a career and make it big, I have to have nothing holding me back. Like, it's now or never. Like, let's go. Let's try it out. And it's been awesome.
Oh, I love hearing that. Oh, my God. I love when other people tell me their stories. Like, it's one of those magical moments. Even if it was, like, a horror story, like, just a horror story to get where they got to, it's still, like, one of those life lesson learned type things. And it's always going to be positive because then you see where they stand today. And so even if it is a bad story or if it's a good story, seeing where they've overcome themselves, like yourself, where you stand today, which is superb. I love every second of it. To kind of veer, like, backwards, because I forgot, I was just so amazed with your bio and just how you started kind of thing. I always would like to ask my guest, how rated do you want this chat to be? Basically from, G for, only babies can listen to it, to rated XXX, to the point where only adults can see it. So I want to make sure, as well as I want our fans to make sure, that you have appropriate questions for yourself and something that they can kind of, if you want triple X, they can talk about, obviously ask questions along those lines. But if you like to keep it G, then they kind of know, all right, this girl wants to keep it a little low-key kind of thing. So what is your rating? What do you want to rate this?
Well, nothing in my life is really triple X, so I'll put it that way. I mean, they can ask questions, whatever they want, but yeah.
And like I told you behind the scenes, if I ask questions or if the fans ask questions, would you fans better come prepared with some questions? Because I know I only have like a whole page worth of questions, but I feel like that's not enough. I need more. I need more creative minds with me. But for those that are listening, she has the right to basically not ignore, but to say, I'm not comfortable with that question. Can we move forward? So, Jordan, like I mentioned, you are totally comfortable with doing whatever you feel is best for yourself. This podcast is not to make you look dumb, to not make you look, insecure or whatever negative thing. This podcast is to make you feel fucking like the queen of the universe by the end of it and throughout the entire thing. And that's my job, is to make you feel like the queen of the universe.
Oh, yeah.
Again, it is your moment to shine, baby. All right. So,
well, we'll say PG-13 to be safe then.
PG-13. So, everyone has heard that. PG-13. She is similar to me. I always, throughout mine, I'm like, PG-13. I mean, I do nude stuff. Obviously, you as well do nude stuff. But we kind of stop at a certain point. And what point do you stop with your nudes?
Nothing vulgar. I always keep it I'm an artistic person, so I always try getting that point across, just nothing past the point where you can't call it art.
Yeah, okay. Awesome. So everyone, start asking questions, and I definitely see a few, and I mentioned to Jordan earlier, one user is super excited. Jordanlehn is awesome. And another one, the most recent one, said, wow, Jordan is beautiful. So, girl, you already... And she got dressed up just for y'all. Unlike me, I'm rocking a hoodie. And I just want to keep myself, hidden. Don't even pay no attention to me. So, let's rock and let's roll.
All right.
So, this is the biggest one that I want to talk about. I'm sorry. You deal with it pretty much on a daily since you were in sophomore year. I would love to talk about Austin.
All right.
I am from there, like I mentioned, born and raised, northwest Austin. So it was in the Millwood. What area in Austin did you grow up in? Or whatever.
Do you know where Avery Ranch is?
Yeah, I definitely do know where Avery Ranch is.
Yeah, that's where, we moved in that area first, in this tiny little house. I'll never forget it, because I came from 2 acres, that's a lot of land. I had horses, I had a tortoise, I had chickens, we had 5 dogs at one point, we had animals, and we moved to this little house with 3 bedrooms and this tiny backyard that couldn't be bigger than my living room is now. And it was just
no wonder why it was a whole transformation when you got into Austin. You're like, what the fuck is this, Mom and Dad? Are we living in some tent or something?
It's pretty crazy.
2 acres? Jesus.
Yeah.
So I assume you rode horses and all that country stuff.
My mom was very into riding horses, and she had amazing horses. Growing up, I always had animals. I always had horses. I had some nasty falls, though, not gonna lie. I was kind of terrified. I really preferred brushing the horses and being on ground with them than riding, and I remember sometimes, she told me, she's like, if you fall, you have to get back up, and you don't get off until you, have rode and feel comfortable again, but after the first fall, I was never comfortable again.
Oh my god. I've been in front of a few horses. Those fucking things are massive.
They're huge.
And I already asked you again behind the scenes, and I've already, I swear, I need to be like, what is the word? Not advertised, but sponsored. I swear, I need to be sponsored by Reddit, because I'm an addict of Reddit. Like, it's seriously no joke. But I see there's a subreddit called What the Fuck, and it's basically they show images or videos or like stories or articles that will literally make you say, what the fuck? Like, it can be something fucking gruesome, like blood and bones showing in their hands, to something literally like an article talking about like, I don't know, just those questions and answers, those right to Tom type, articles. And one of the most recent things I actually saw was a picture of a lady. You didn't see her, but it was the title was basically my mom's friend or somebody's friend rode her horse, fell down, and got stomped on, and it was so fucking gross. Her knee was like, it was gross. It's like,
yeah.
Fucking horses, man. Like, they're glorious and majestic and like huge as shit, but like they're huge as shit and they're animals. So
yeah,
fucking, oh my god, that's amazing.
They were like, it was great times growing up. It's just like I always had it in me that like I was just so afraid of falling and getting hurt. Like, I was a very cautious little kid. Like, I did not want to get hurt. I didn't want my brothers getting hurt. Like, I was so protective of them. Like, I was a little scaredy cat. Yeah. But our horse Katrina that we had, that was kind of like the one I rode a lot. She was such a scaredy cat too. So you have like me being afraid and then her being afraid. It was a bad combo.
Y'all clicked in the whole same type of feelings, but you didn't click together because those two scaredy cats probably wouldn't make good best friends.
Yeah, we were just always afraid, like living in caution on her, but she was great. Like, she was such a beautiful horse. Like, I do miss her. She's actually in Texas though, so I might go visit her soon.
Oh, wow, man. So, of course, I got off track. I always tend to get off track. But you moved to Austin. You lived in Avery Ranch. Oh, my God. You were not too far from me.
That's crazy.
Because it was off, 183, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. 183. I'm trying to remember these streets right now. It's ridiculous.
Actually,
183 and the back road. What was that other back road?
It was kind of off of, like, Palmer.
Palmer, that's it. Oh,
yeah.
Shit, son. Palmer was like the street that connected Millwood to Avery Ranch, kind of, and 183 too. But that Palmer, I went to McNeil High School.
You did? What the heck? I went there too.
Really? That is ridiculous.
When did you graduate?
2010.
Okay, see, I moved there 2010. Yeah.
So yeah, we would obviously not, caught each other at that time. But yeah, I went to McNeil High School. That is ridiculous. That makes sense, because if you lived in Avery Ranch and I lived in Millwood, that was the chances. Unless you went to, like, not Anderson. There's another high school across 183, but you lived on the other side. Whoa! I don't know if her connection went bad or it was my connection. Sorry, y'all. That was a random thing that just happened. Hold on. Let me redo that. I actually think it's my connection. Ooh, I'm not doing too hot on this whatsoever. Oh my gosh. Alright, hold on, y'all. I do apologize for that crazy inconvenience. I'm not sure why all of a sudden it stopped working. My internet is perfectly fine, and my webcam is on, and it's not working. Any technical savvy people out there right now can maybe give me a hand, I suppose, but otherwise, I'm not sure why that just happened. We shall figure this out. Man, it was getting good too. Holy crap. That was superb too. I'm gonna start this shit over again. Hold on. So now, again, we're back at stage 1 from my episode 2. If any of y'all have been that long viewer of mine and remember episode 2, holy crap. If you don't remember, I basically had my video was lagging like a crazy monster, like it did 2 seconds ago, and I couldn't figure it out for the death of me, and I ended up just basically killing the video and doing straight audio. I felt so bad. I was a nervous wreck that entire night, and Fortunately, I was able to make it work, but overall, it wasn't the best that I hoped for, so, which is an unfortunate event. But, I'm restarting my Skype. She did text me saying her internet died, so I'm not sure if it was from her or from me. So I do apologize, everyone. I mean, obviously, this is a huge thing, and I'm doing everything on my personal self. So, obviously, there's gonna be times when things like this mess up. But, alright, Jordan is back, everyone! Woo!
How do you not know what happened?
It's an exciting roller coaster, I swear.
My gosh.
I'm sure you freaked out, but I freaked the fuck out.
I was like, whoa, you went to McNeil too? And then my internet just stopped. I'm like, okay.
That is so, oh my god, okay, so, yay! Everyone even stayed on, so obviously everyone is diehard fucking fans, and they give y'all a round of applause, because y'all are fucking badass for staying on.
Thanks for staying, everyone.
Right? Alright, it was getting good too, so I was like, no. So yeah.
Okay, so you went to McNeil, you graduated the year I moved to McNeil, or to Austin.
Yeah. How did you like McNeil? Obviously a long pause, hard. I already get an answer from it.
Yeah, it was hard.
I figured, I mean, compared to you where you started in, sophomore year, I was there all 4 years, and for whatever reason, my grade, we didn't give a fucking shit about McNeil. We fucking hated that school. I wouldn't say we hated it, but, you have your pep rallies and your spirit week and all that other shit, and we had no spirit whatsoever. Our football team fucking sucked. I'm sorry to say it. If any of y'all are from my school and my class that are watching, you fucking sucked. I'm sorry. Basketball, who fucking knows what went on with them in my grade or my year. But even my fucking prom, I didn't spend that much money, but obviously, tickets are ridiculously priced. I spent a good chunk of change on it, and it sucked fucking balls.
Oh, no.
It was horrible.
No.
But that's amazing that you went to McNeil. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's actually funny because I had a hard time, and I thought it was just because I moved, and I was like, oh well, I had a lot of friends in California, so maybe it's just because I'm in a new place, and all these people already have friends. But my brother is actually going there right now, and he hasn't been too happy with it lately either. So I've been trying to defend him a little bit.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's a school. It's a high school. There's always going to be the cliques and the groups and drama and whatever you have at high school.
High school. Yeah.
But just. I mean, and some of the teachers were pretty awesome. I even talked to Francis, my boyfriend, and it seems like he has teachers that were that influenced him throughout his life. I look back in my life and I'm like, there's nobody that fucking influenced me whatsoever. I literally think my middle school time at Deer Park was a lot better than my high school time, but whatever. I got through it and I got my diploma. And I moved past it.
Yeah, exactly. I guess I was at the same point, I was just like, all right, well, I wanted to switch schools, but then I got told, no, you can't switch schools, just deal with it. So, in the best of ways. So I just went, I showed up, I had 2 off periods my senior year, I went to school, I left.
That's what you have to do. Just say, fuck it, bye, deuces. So, with Austin being the topic that I want to speak about, have you ever experienced South by Southwest? You have to say yes.
Okay, not yet, but this year I'm going. No, I'm going to ACL. Okay, I'm going to ACL.
Girl, you have to experience at least one of them once. And even if that means you don't even go to, an actual performance, just fucking being in that area that they have all that shit going down, it's redonkulous. Seriously. My first technical time being in South by was, we're in 2014, I moved in 2012, 12, so I think 2011 South by Southwest, and Francis had a studio in the heart of downtown, right off 6th Street, and so, me and Francis, not really me, but I was, there kind of helping out. But Francis collaborated with Mad Gods, who you shot with, Chris.
Right.
And they, did a T-shirt with Francis's, a few of his prints, and did a pop-up shop with also this clothing designer named Gabriel Campbell. I can't remember his clothing line. I think it's like 2022 for, I'm fucking it up. But so many other people were part of it, and so it was just basically a studio was open for a pop-up shop for all the people going through South by and all this other stuff, and going to the shows was ridiculous, and also seeing just how downtown Austin transformed. They fucking made a, a performance stage in any corner of downtown Austin, or anywhere in Austin in general. Like, one of the main parking structures that we parked at, the top of that parking garage was a fucking concert. Like, it was ridiculous.
That's so cool. Oh my, I don't know why I've never made it downtown. Like, even during, like, I just assume that, like, there's nothing I'm going to be able to go into, so I just don't go.
Yeah, because you are 20, so yeah, I would imagine being under 21 is a pain in the ass. I was actually...
there.
Yeah, I was 19 that year, actually. And yeah, it's ridiculous. I had to ask my older sister if I could borrow her ID. I'm like, I swear I'm not gonna drink. I just want to fucking see some, people performing shit. Yeah, and every time I have to do that, because I'm a horrible fucking liar. Like, so bad. I'll have my ID or whatever, and they're like, oh, can I see your ID? And I'm like handing it to them, and I'm like either shaking or just like, please, don't ask me anything. And I remember having my sister's ID and studying every, inch of the card, memorizing her birthday, memorizing, the expiration date, memorizing, her color of her eyes. Even though she's my fucking sister, I memorized the entire card. So if they question me, I'll be like, bitch, I know the answer. And if you ask me my age, I'm going to know the answer. But yeah, you definitely. I haven't been to ACL, but you have to go.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, either way, I'll probably just show up for South by whenever it is. I think that's the one that's in the spring.
Yeah, it's in March usually.
So, yeah, that's gonna be a month before my turn 21. But I'll make it happen. I'll go. It'll be fun.
Just do what everyone says. Models get in for free and stuff like that if they're just looking cute and sexy. I don't know how people do that, but apparently it works somewhere in the world. Doesn't work for my
I'll have to learn that trick, but once I do.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. So, living in Austin, do you consider yourself an Austinite?
Ooh, good question. I don't really know, because, I feel like I haven't exactly embraced the Austin lifestyle, I have, but, I hold my California ties too strong to kind of, let it go. I kind of will always be from California,
Yeah.
So I wouldn't consider myself an Austinite. I kind of just, live in Austin currently.
It's just your place of residence.
And I really appreciate Austin, but I don't consider myself, a local Austinite,
So what is, and you said it, so I'm just busting your balls, but I'm just curious in your own words. What is the lifestyle of an Austinite?
I just feel like I don't know enough about Austin to, say I'm an Austinite. I'm just still kind of, so new to it, and I'm yeah, that's cool, but, everyone, that's from Austin is whoa, have you checked this out? And I'm what's that?
I've lived there my entire life, and I still feel like I haven't experienced it all. I have one of my friends, Taylor, who lives there currently, and she, I guess you would call them a quote-unquote foodie. She, has been to almost every restaurant in Austin, and I'm I've only been to maybe the shitty ones, and maybe a sprinkle of the awesome fucking ones, and I've been to Uchi, I've been to, I'm, trying to fucking remember all this shit. Obviously, okay, have you been to Pluckers?
Yeah, I've been to Pluckers.
Then you have, basically the honorary Austinite award, because, as long as you've been to, Pluckers and the shit that's, fucking started in Austin, and that are, a chain now in other places, you fucking own the, the title, because there's some people that are Pluckers, what the, Francis, for instance, he's never been to Pluckers, and he's just oh, is that, Wild Wings and something like that? I'm no, it's fucking better than Wild Wings.
It's better. And their lemonade's amazing. I usually just go to Pluckers because I want some good lemonade. So.
Oh my god, I usually went to Pluckers for the fried pickles.
Okay, those are good too. I have had those.
Oh my god, so delicious. Sorry, people, that you have not lived in Austin or never been to Austin, but you need to go. It's a great place. I mean, talking from a person that's lived in Austin all her life, pretty much, you have to. I mean, I've been to other cities and states. I mean, Texas, it's Texas. But Austin, it's fucking Austin, and it's worth visiting. Unless you live in fucking California, I guess nothing's gonna get better than California. But
no, I think there's only parts of California that are cool. Like, I'm gonna put it out there right now. Like, some parts of California suck, and then the people living in those parts should definitely come out here and check it out.
Yeah. Oh my god, I love every part of it, honestly. But I didn't go into every little nook and cranny of it. But I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed San Diego, LA, and San Francisco, and then I went to kind of around Redding, California.
Okay.
Gorgeous up there. But train of thought, obviously. You live in Austin currently, and you're modeling full time since January. What I'm trying to think what question I want to ask, because I have two questions and I don't know which one should go first. So I'm like in my head, I don't think. Okay, we'll just do this. How was it like starting full time?
Oh my god, it was so scary. It was terrifying, honestly. You know, because you have to have a certain amount of booked shoots that are paid shoots so that you can make rent. And luckily, when I started, my rent was a lot cheaper than it is now. Yeah. So luckily, I was okay. I also do have a side job that me and my boyfriend do 3 times a week. We clean this building. So thank God I had that, because that really helped me get through. Like, that helped me get enough just to get by and really kind of get my name out there more so, and just kind of start building up, like, people that knew who I was, building my name more so. So at first it was really scary. It was really hard and really scary, and it wasn't always fun. But I don't know, like, the past few months I've had no issue with it. Like, it's been fun. Like, I just know, like, I need to be on top of it. I need to message people back. I need to book my shoots in advance and, like, keep in touch with the people so they don't cancel. And if they do cancel, get something else in that shoot's place. So I've definitely learned a lot in the past few months since I went full time.
Now, with my previous episodes, I have heavily mentioned that modeling is more like a business. Have you related to that topic basically at all?
Yes, for sure. So actually, my dad's a chiropractor, so he owns his own business. So because of that, you know, like, I definitely have experience in, like, owning your own business and the steps it takes to maintain your business and be professional. And, you know, my parents have always been really good with money, and they've kind of helped me and my brothers be really good with our finances. So I had enough background to where I kind of knew, like, how to do it. But yeah, every day, like, I'm on my phone, on my social media, replying to emails, replying to messages through all my sites. It is a full-time business, and I don't think people understand how much time I actually spent behind the scenes, you know? Like, you spend more time behind the scenes than you do actually in front of the camera. So it's intense.
Yeah, it is definitely intense, especially that jump to begin full-time. It's a scary difference because, I mean, with me, I worked 2 jobs before I became full-time. I eventually quit one and then slowly was, quitting the other one. But coming from a place where you know exactly when you're going to get paid, if it's going to be, every 2 weeks or every once a month, and then you technically kind of know how much you're getting paid, and you know how much you're getting paid per hour, and who you're going to be working with, and the location that you're constantly going to have to be in. You already know pretty much everything, except for, like, the sprinkle of, like, coincidence and, random things that happen in a job. But with modeling and doing anything artistic full-time, it's the opposite. So How was that transition for you? I mean, I know you already kind of spoke about it, but, like, coming in from knowing to obviously not.
Like I said, it was really scary. It was hard because for a while, for some reason, I just found it really hard to get to find out what my rate should be, to find out what I should be asking. I was kind of afraid to start traveling at first. I've been to Dallas, I guess when I quit my cosmetics job and started doing full-time, my first actual kind of like paid trip was to Dallas. And that was like a trial run to see like, okay, like, is this something I can do? And it worked out well. So I think it just took like going places I'm comfortable going to, just to kind of see how it goes. That helped, you know, because Dallas is still close enough to where it's not like, oh man, like it's so far away.
Yeah.
It was a good trial run. It was really, I had to plan a lot. Like I had to be very like cautious with my spending, and I think for like the first 2 months I only made enough just to get by, and it was scary.
I definitely always agree. Even me I've been full-time, I started 2012, I think, when I became full-time, so 2 years. I'm still fucking ripping my hair out to this fucking day. It's ridiculous. I love it to death. I love it to death. But man, it's ridiculous. So, I'm glad you are one of us that took the steps to become full-time. It's scary. And even like, there's a photographer in Miami that I've worked with, and he's interested in doing it full-time, and obviously understands, you know, the hardness that it will take for him to live his life, you know, becoming full-time, and how much stuff you have to give up becoming full-time in an artistic, you know, career. And it works, you know, it's the same situation for artists, for photographers, for models, makeup artists, hairstylists, clothing designers, everyone in this type of industry. It's all the same when you become full-time. It's your baby, and you're growing it up into, you know, this blossom of a gorgeous tree of some sort, or whatever your, you know, terminology you want to describe your career. But it's, again, like, nobody actually really understands. They don't. And, I mean, that's just how people are, especially, you know, with, you know, doctors and lawyers and stuff like that. They don't fully understand. And you mentioned your father's a chiropractor. How did he accept your modeling?
Well, I think he knows that it's what I love to do, and I think because of that, it's okay. And I think he just wants to see me happy. So, I mean, he always jokes around. I'm very selective of what pictures I show to him, because he always jokes with me. He's like even in Dallas this past weekend, he texted me. He's like, I love you, have fun. Like, no nipples or something like that. I was just like, love you, Dad. Like, you know, but I think in the end, if I'm happy, I think him and my mom, I think they're both just happy for me if I'm happy. They were kind of scared when I went full time. They're like, you better make it work. Like, I mean, like, they had faith in me, but they're like, well, you know, like, you need to have, like, a second plan. Like, are you sure you want to do it now? And I'm like, you guys, like, I'm done with my job. Like, I need to do it now. And I just did it. And I think I just was very proud to prove to them that I can make a decent living, like, enough to get by just doing what I love. And I'm happy. I think that's what matters the most.
Yeah, and that's just another, like, fairy tale story that just, it's very motivational for others that are looking into, you know, pursuing a career like ours, or even photographers that are interested in working with us and understanding, you know, where you come from and what you've dealt with in your career so far. It's very motivational and also inspiring, and whatever else words that you can describe it, because my brain is like still worried about technical issues because I'm scared something bad's gonna happen. But anyways, let's not think about that.
Let's not go there.
Yeah, let's not go there whatsoever. So wrapping around Austin again, how was it like starting modeling in Austin? I mean, I have my own stories, but I want to hear yours and how it was like to begin modeling in Austin with the photographers and the other models and people like that in that city itself.
Well, like I said, I started mainly off of Model Mayhem. I did live in Texas when I went to that modeling and acting school, so they kind of taught us, you know, like, when you arrive to shoot, make sure you have this, like, arrive like this, and they gave us, like, really basic tips, so that actually really helped a lot. Looking back, it did help more than I give it credit. But once I started I made my Model Mayhem page, I think my first shoot was I think I was 17. I'm pretty sure. And it was with a family friend photographer, and we were taking kind of more so senior portraits, but for me, I was like, there's a camera involved, like this is a photo shoot. So I brought all these outfits, and that kind of got my start. And I was like, all right, well, I did that shoot, and then I didn't really do much until I made my Model Mayhem. And once I made my Model Mayhem, I had a bunch of people like add me and message me, like the first 3 days, because I guess on Model Mayhem you can see new members. So I had a bunch of people message me, and like I would kind of look through portfolios, and I'd be like, I'm not shooting that. Like, and I just didn't know the industry. Like, I was very young mentally when I started, and I just took a lot of it, and I just didn't really know what I wanted for myself. So I think the first year was kind of finding out, like, what do I expect out of this modeling career? And honestly, for the first year, I was like, I just want to get published once, and I think I can call it a day. And then, of course, I get published once, and I'm like, yeah, let's set the goals more up here, because it's easy. And I was like, well, I just want more out of it. So I think for the first year, it's just shooting around and building my portfolio. It's funny, because actually, I think you had messaged me, I don't know if you remember, but like you had messaged me on Model Mayhem, and like you sent me like this long message, or I had messaged you or something. I don't know, we had spoken before, like I still have the message, so and like you were like, oh well, we should meet up someday, and like I was so shy, like I was like, oh, I don't know. And like, yeah, I just remember that though, and looking back, I probably should have met up with you, because I'm sure you could have had some tips that would have helped me like avoid a few things,
Yeah.
But that's why I think it's so great that you're doing these videos now, because newer models, I mean, they can just watch them, and they kind of like are like, oh, well, that's how it actually works. Okay, well, maybe I'll listen to these people because they know what they're talking about.
Yeah. Oh, man, I think I know what exact message you're talking about, and I swear to baby Jesus, if we did meet in person that time, I would probably be just as nervous as you and just as shy, but also on top of it, I'd be like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm just in here just trying to make a living right now. I'm still like that. Like, I'll have people ask me questions, and it's perfectly fine. I love helping others, and I love asking questions for other people to help me as well. But when people like are looking at me for advice, I'm like, just to let you know, this is my personal opinion. Everything happened to me, and it's going to be completely different for yourself. Because I don't want to be held liable for some fucked up shit that happens. And they did, Shima, I did exactly what you told me. I'm like, hey, it worked for me. It didn't work for me. It may be the opposite for you. Take my word fully. So, I mean, and while you bring that up, I personally, because a lot of people see models or other people in the industry, and they're like, oh, it's just fucking competitive. Everyone's just trying to, get them, get their own self somewhere and push everyone behind them, and yank people's hair and try to get to be, the one and only. And obviously, that can be true, but especially when it's us that, are independent or full-time or even agency represented ones, but are just trying to make a living out of it. We have to, be there for each other and help each other succeed and feel, accomplishment doing that. And I will tell you, I don't know how many messages I have sent to other models just wanting to link up and, just meet up each other or just ask questions and things like that. Like, I remember when I first started, I was super fucking nervous, but I sent a message out to Hattie Watson just asking advice. And I remember I even sent one to Alicia Net. Hattie was such a sweetheart that she replied. Alicia, she's super busy that I don't give her, no shit about it. She just never responded, so I'm like, oh, she's probably super fucking busy with this awesome fucking lifestyle that she has. But, I'm sitting there, constantly emailing and messaging other models, and getting, their feedback from what they've experienced, or just saying, hey, we live in Austin, we're doing the same fucking shit every fucking day. Let's meet up and just have, a one-on-one discussion. Right. And I even did that in Sarasota when I first moved, because, like how you moved to Austin, you don't fucking you don't know anyone. So I tried doing that with other models in Sarasota and as well in Austin, and, some say, hey, yeah, that's awesome, let's totally do it, and then they just disappear. They just don't ever respond back, which I understand people, life gets in the way and stuff like that, but I have only technically met one person in Sarasota, and that was last week, out of 1,000 people that I messaged in the area that finally actually met up with me. And it's I'm just trying to get to know other people and have respect for others. I still to this day, if I find a model, I will send them a message saying, hey, I really like your shit, just letting you know that I'm another model and we're just out here hustling as hard as we can to make it in this career that we chose. And some people obviously don't understand it. They're like, who the fuck is this bitch, blowing up my feed or whatever. I'm trying. But it's cool. I mean, I wished we met, obviously, but things happen, and obviously if we probably did meet, a different path would have been paved for us. But since we didn't, we're here, and you're fucking succeeding, and I hope I'm succeeding some way.
So
I hope so. So I've seen your work, and I'm hope that everyone else that, is your fan, as well as my fans, because I've definitely, linked your profile and everything like that, I've seen your work, but I recognize a handful of photographers that you've worked with, and I want to know, what is your top, without, discriminating anyone or making anyone feel bad because they might be fucking butthurt, but I want to know your top favorite Austin photographers.
Ooh, okay, so I feel like if I answer this, I will offend a lot of people.
Alright, so you're, okay, alright, we don't want to do it.
I don't want to offend anybody. I'll put it this way, I think the people I've worked with in Austin, I've worked with different times throughout my career for certain reasons. If it means I learn something new, I get pushed in a new direction, I get pushed out of my comfort zone, I shoot some really hot pictures, I shoot some really pretty ones, I make art, whatever it is. I've worked with a lot of people in Austin at different times through my career for specific reasons.
Yeah.
So I appreciate them all for what they have helped me learn and produce. I'll put it that way.
Alright, that's a fucking good answer. I know me, I'd be name dropping and throwing bombs and shit, and 5 days later I hear back from somebody you mentioned me.
Yeah.
That's actually a true story. The last episode I did, for anyone that doesn't remember, I basically went over images and that I've shot and kind of gave a background history about them and what it took for me to get that image. And
right.
I did one photo where it's me standing in front of a window, and it was the story that it was my first time being in Miami. And I, had this lady that just basically hit us up on South Beach and was basically what is the word? Basically, tearing me to pieces, saying I need to fucking do something better with my life and all this other stuff. And I'm like, alright, fucking hoe, get the fuck out of my face. And anyways, I told that story, not even thinking anything whatsoever. I get an email from the photographer. He said, I randomly, I've been seeing your images through my feeds and stuff like that, and I came across one of your podcasts, and I decided to give it a listen, and I didn't realize, and he started talking that he felt bad, and that, I experienced what I experienced on our shoot, and all this other stuff, and I'm like, I really hope I didn't say anything bad. I don't think I said anything bad. I mean, I obviously said the truth, but I was like, no, dude, seriously, you were fucking sweet. Everything, us in our relationship during that shoot was perfect. It was the situations that came across throughout it made it kind of not shitty, but made it just my head was just flustered and going all over the place. And so me getting a message from that guy, a few days after I posted the video, I'm like, alright, I told Francis before today, I'm like, alright, I gotta make sure that if I ever do talk about somebody, I talk about them via the actual truth that happened, but I do not share I don't share my full opinions, because obviously it's my opinion, so if I think somebody was rude and disrespectful, you or a fan or themselves might be like, well, what the fuck? No, it wasn't. So
right.
I want to stay away from that dilemma. So now I have to fucking make sure that and I don't talk bad about people. I never really do, unless they really were like that old lady in Miami on fucking South Beach giving you a hard time. Then I'll fucking talk bad about you. But otherwise, like, I don't talk bad about nobody. I have a list of people that I would love to, you know, talk bad about, but I'm not gonna go there. Not whatsoever. So, alright. Woo! But that was a definitely awesome answer to my question. Like, again, I would have just name dropped. To pause real fast, I do have one question from a fan, and they ask, what do you enjoy more, outdoor photo shoots or indoor studio photo shoots?
Ooh, alright, that's a good question, actually, because, let's see. Personally, I guess, I don't know, this is another one I'm going to answer it kind of differently, avoiding the question kind of. I'll put it this way, like, I like working with things, so if I have stuff to work with, like this chair, for instance, like, if I'm inside and I have something to work with, I like working with things, so if I'm inside on a plain background, like, that's cool, but I'd rather be on a plain background, like on a chair or something, you know, like, I like to work with objects, I like to work with my surroundings, like, it makes the picture more interesting, I think.
Yeah, it definitely does. I mean,
so, I like shooting outside, though, for some things, and inside for other looks, so I guess it just depends. It really depends.
That's a hard, I mean, it's not like it's a hard question, but it's one of those questions that it's just like, I can't really give you, like, a straight answer, because it just, yeah, like you said, it depends. Like, it depends on the photographer. It depends on, you know, what, you know, the weather's like, or how big the studio is, or what equipment they have, and whatever else. If I have, you know, an object.
Doing.
Yeah.
It depends on the shoot, I guess.
Yeah, so no worries. That was, again, a perfect answer to that type of question.
Okay, good.
I do have a comment from another fan, and it's kind of directed towards me, but it's about you.
Okay.
They said, and it's going to be bad. I'm just kidding. It's really sweet. Just kidding.
Oh, I'm all worried about that.
They said, she's cute, Shima. I know how to pick them. I mean, come on. I know the gorgeous ones. I know the ones that make you they're so sweet. Your teeth just chatter so hard. Sorry, I like to go off things. And for the ones that just arrived, Jordan, do you prefer to go by Jordan or Jordanlehn?
I kind of like for my modeling go by Jordanlehn. I go by both, though. It doesn't matter.
I feel like I've said a Jordan just by itself a couple times, so I'm like, I hate when people, like, do it to me, so I'm trying my hardest to not do it to you, because it's fucking
okay. It's okay.
So Jordanlehn has mentioned that this is going to be rated PG-13 for everyone that just showed up, so it's not going to be crazy. I mean, it's still going to be fucking crazy. It's not going to be triple X like Crystal's was. Although when Crystal did it, we had triple X, and it didn't feel that triple X. Like,
it wasn't that bad.
No, it wasn't. It was the closest one was just basically asking, like, oh, do you work out or do you do, like, exercise? Like, that was literally, like, the most sexual one that... And I tried, but I wasn't prepared for, like, sexual questions. So, like, I threw, like, those, I don't know if innuendos is the right term, but, like, just throwing those, like, little jags of, like, sexual comments.
Yeah, no, you kept it going. That was great.
I tried. I remember there was one part where she was, like, talking about something, and she's like, oh, but I don't have wood near me. So I waited, because I was going to say it right after she said it, but I'm like, nah, I don't know. I feel like that's too much. But then I ended up saying, well, you know, you have your husband right next to you. I mean, he obviously has some wood in his pants. I mean, it's close to knowing.
No, actually, it's so funny, because actually when that happened, that whole thing happened, I kind of thought it, and I was like, she has a husband. And you said it later, and I was, like, driving to Dallas, and I was like, I wasn't the one thinking it. All right, I'm good.
It was the whole mind that all connected whatsoever. Alright, so, speaking of, you know, photographers in Austin, obviously we won't go to your favorites, but I'm curious on photographers around the world and also models around the world that are inspirations to you.
Ooh.
I know it's a hard question. I hate having this question for myself, so I'm sorry, but I had to do it.
Yeah, that's a hard question. You know, I guess lately I've been following a lot of, like, the traveling models, just to see, like, how they promote themselves, how they travel, how they go about that. I've never really asked anyone for advice because I feel like I'm afraid to do it. I've been able to kind of get a good grasp and like good idea based on like how those other traveling models do it.
Yeah.
So like I'm always following a lot of other models on Instagram or Tumblr or what have you. I like to look at other people's Model Mayhem profiles because you get a lot of business through Model Mayhem. I know it's kind of outdated, but
Yeah.
I love it. Like, I love Model Mayhem to death. And I kind of just see, like, how people make their profiles, how they keep it professional. And I kind of, like, take that into account. So for models, I don't really necessarily follow, like, anyone in particular. I just follow kind of, like, people I think are inspiring to me. So, like, yourself, for example, one of my first people I thought were inspiring, like, when I first started, because you're in Austin. So that's for models. Now, for photography, that gets hard because I've had so many styles that I've loved, you know, growing up. Like, it's always changing. I just see these photographers and, like, I'm like, man, I wonder how they get there. Like, they're working with these clothing centers, they're getting published. Like, how cool is that? So it just depends on, like, what phase of my career I'm in, I guess. I'll put it that way.
That is definitely, oh my god, that is definitely. First of all, you made me blush saying my name. I'm like, oh my god. God, I'm still blushing. But on top of it, I completely agree with you in the fact that, like, it does depend. Because when I first started living in Austin, I looked up to, like, Hattie Watson and Alicia Nett and this girl named LV that shot with, you know, Pure Filth, who you shot for, but also with Chris Mad Gods and things like that. And I looked up to them, and I thought they were fucking amazing. And I still do. Don't get me wrong. Like, I fucking think Hattie Watson's work is still fucking, you know.
Oh, God. I saw a picture of hers today, and I was just like, oh, she is so gorgeous.
Yeah, and so it changed as I progressed in my career. Then I found, you know, Echo Nidalito, and I'm like, fucking drop the fucking boulder right now. Holy shit, this girl is ridiculous. And then it transformed from there. Like, I still feel like these girls are doing their shit and they're fucking fabulous. But they, you know, once my career is going in a different direction, I look towards a different, you know, influence. So currently right now, there's a model that I always refer to, and her name is Adrienne Ho. And she has, like, her own clothing line, but as well as fucking the skinniest, like, perfect figured girl in the entire world, I feel like. And then there's this other girl towards the work that she does. Her name is Coco Badell, I think, by Woodell. And she's gorgeous as well. But then there's, like, Ashley Moore in LA and, like, some other ones that, like, I'm really bad at naming people. But then when it comes to photographers, currently right now, I really enjoy the work of Herb Ritz, and as well as Mario Testino. And I don't do photography. I've dabbled in it, but I don't do it anymore. But seeing their work makes me want to, like, shoot with them or, like, find someone that's similar to them in hopes that I will one day get close to them and, like, touch their face and be like, I want to be with you right now on your camera. So that's always a hard question. I get those a lot, and I'm like, especially when it's live like this, where it's, like, through, like, an actual, like, phone conversation or whatever, I'm like, I don't know. I like everyone.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to give you that question, but I had to.
It's okay. I understand.
It was obligated. So, I'm sorry to say, but I stalked you. I like to stalk my guests, so I am prepared for as many questions as I possibly can come up with, and ones that are very out of topic, something that you wouldn't find anywhere else. For the fact that I, and probably like yourself, have done countless interviews, from being for websites to magazines to whatever else they need interviews for, and they're all the same. They're not boring. They're interesting because obviously the point of an interview is to get to know somebody, but they're all the same. What's your favorite color? Why did you start posing nude? How long have you been doing it? All that sort of stuff. And I had so far one interview that they fucking stalked the shit out of me. Like, they talked about my dog that passed away last year, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, holy shit, you did your fucking homework. I give you a round of applause for that, because I don't ever get that. So once I experienced that interview from somebody, I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it for these fucking people that come on my show, because they're special, and they deserve an awesome fucking conversation. So
stop and surprise him.
yeah. So I will. Yes. Again, I stalked you, and I feel like I stalked you pretty well. So don't be alarmed if I throw something that is random as fuck. But I read somewhere, or no, actually I didn't. Well, I did read, but I also heard you. You said you have 2 cats.
I do.
And I'm gonna assume, correct me if I'm wrong, but their name is Betty and Luna?
Yes.
Oh yeah, my homework is fucking up, Jay.
I know, look at you.
So, do you like cats more than dogs, or is it kind of just cats are easier to maintain?
No, okay, so I also have a dog, but she's at my parents' house, and her name's Brooke, and she's a Rhodesian Ridgeback. I actually grew up with her, and I showed her, so I do have a dog, too.
Yeah.
Currently, I'm living at an apartment, and Brooke's getting old, and I can't have my dog with me, so I got Betty when I moved to Texas. I got her for my birthday or not for my birthday, but a few weeks after my birthday, and she is actually a Manx Tortie cat, so she doesn't have a tail. She was born like that, perfectly normal. And healthy. So I had her, and then when Nico, my boyfriend, moved in with me, and we took Betty home with us, Betty got very fat because she was depressed. She had another cat at my parents' house with her, Angel, so she was used to having like a little buddy, and so when we took her away from her buddy, she got really sad. She didn't do anything. We'd come home, and she'd be on the bed where we left her. So I decided it was time to get another cat. And so I started looking and dragged Nico with me to look for another cat. And by chance, we looked at this one shelter, didn't find anything. He's glaring at me.
Alright, sorry, I have to pause you for a second. I did this to Crystal, but if your significant other is on this show with you, you have to show him. It's like, you have to. You have to have it one short guest appearance, because I'm sure people are curious what the boyfriend of Jordanlehn is like. So, Nico, come on, you need to show yourself at least before this ends, at any time, so.
Okay, I'll let him know. I'll have to bring the girls on. Nico, when you're ready, bring the girls too, okay? Okay.
Okay, sorry. Keep going.
Anyways, so I decided to get another cat, so we looked at shelters, and the first shelter we looked at had, no cats I wanted. And it's like I was looking for, a Manx cat, but it just happened that we found this baby black Manx cat. And I was like, it's meant to be. That is a Manx cat. She doesn't have a tail. She's black. We're going to have 2 tailless cats. How cool is that going to be? And he was like, no, we can't. And I'm like, no. And, I told the lady, I was like, I need to go in that room. I need this cat. And so I go in, and I fall in love with her, of course, just because she's the coolest cat, the most chill cat ever. And she's such a little baby, and so we brought her home the next day after she got spayed, and they fought for probably 2 weeks straight. It was really awful, and I was crying every day because they would just fight, and I didn't know what to do. But now they love each other, and we have our 2 black Manx cats, and it was the best thing we did.
Oh my god, it worked. There's a happy ever after type story. Alright, We're done with the podcast. That's the happiest we're gonna. I'm just kidding.
The end.
No. I want to obviously keep talking about my stalker questions, but I have a couple other questions from our fans that want to know additional things that I don't have questions for. The first one says, I see a lot of dark pictures, in parentheses, accented blacks and whatnot. Do you like these darker hue, Do you like these darker hue pictures, or is that what the photographer typically go for?
So they were talking about more of the colors in the images?
In the portfolio, I guess they get kind of more of a range of more darker, kind of moody type imagery, and so they're asking, do you personally like that, or is that something a photographer, wants you to shoot for?
Right, it's actually funny because I was looking through my Instagram, and I've been trying to, make it very good variety on it, and I did notice, I was like, man, my last 2 rows have been really dark, and I don't know why, but I don't know, I guess, lately with my modeling, I've been very moody about it, yeah, I can do, my glamour, cutesy, sexy, or whatever, but I'm really good at doing these emotions, and I think photographers recognize that, And so I guess just in their post work, they kind of want it to be more toned for an emotional, dark, edgy look.
Yeah.
So I think that's just coincidence. I mean, I like it personally. I think it's great. Like, I'm kind of like a closet goth, so I think it's cool. But either way, I'm happy. Like, I like color. I like the bright, happy images. But I think it's just a chance that I get these dark images.
We keep looking.
So here comes
Oh,
the
there's a body. There's something there. We have to see a face. We can't just see a torso and legs. I mean, woo!
There's the cat.
Hi, Nico. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very
y'all are
much.
adorable. Y'all look like the perfect couple. Oh my god. Oh, kitty.
So this is Betty.
Oh, kitty cat. Look at you. What? Computer, stop it. Stop moving this way. Oh my god.
So this is Betty.
Hi, Betty. You look like I don't give a fuck what's going on. Just get me out of this awkward situation.
And so see no two.
It's like a bunny tail.
Yes. So she's my first girl.
Oh, she's
And
adorable.
I don't know when she ran off. She's kind of she's a scaredy cat, so she's not gonna. She's hiding.
She's like, who cares about be cool? Nobody cares now. Oh, well, thank you, Nico, for showing your face and your torso and your legs. And thank you, Betty, for making a guest appearance as well. I don't know. I personally love the idea of seeing people's faces. Even if I fucking don't know them, I'm like, hey, see, you can stick around throughout the entire thing if you want. I mean, I can ask you questions. People can ask me questions. But I personally, like with Crystal, I wanted to see her, her husband, because she kept looking and talking and like laughing, and I'm like, all right, who are you talking to other than me? Like, I need to see this other face. And so, I have a question for you though, Nico, real fast. I know, and I'm sure you do, of course, know, unless you're living under a rock, but your lovely girlfriend, Jordanlehn, is a model, also a photographer, and she does shoot nudity. What's your thoughts, and how is it like dating a model? It's okay. I mean, if you feel uncomfortable.
That's a good question.
No, honestly, there's kind of like always a dream when I was like, I want to date a model when I get older. But it's like a totally different lifestyle that I'd ever really imagined. But it's great. It really is. And I mean, honestly, the way that Jordan does it, it's very tasteful. I think it's much more of an expression through her art, more so than just nudity or porn or anything like that.
Y'all are so cute.
This
It makes me
sweetheart.
cry. Y'all are so cute. It makes me cry. It's always awesome hearing couples, especially their significant other. So, your model and your significant other is not, or they, have no part of it whatsoever. And how accepting they are to what we do. Because it's not easy. And I hear tons of stories. I even, experienced another model whose boyfriend was kind of on the verge of not accepting it. And it's kind of depressing. And
it's really a full-time job, too. I mean, no one realizes it, but, like, all the time, just marketing, on the computer, like, editing, just everything. It's a full-time job. Even though, like, everyone's like, oh, it's just a model. You just stand in front of pictures and it's going to be easy.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's definitely not. And, I mean, I give you props, Nico, for just being so fucking supportive. And I'm sure Jordanlehn is supportive of you and what you do. So I thank you so much for being that awesome fucking boyfriend that everyone needs in their life.
Alright, well, I'll let you guys get back to it. Nice talking to you.
Alright.
Bye.
I will give it to him. He is such a sweetheart. I was modeling before I met him, but not as seriously as I am now. I'll give it to him. He's been my number one fan, my number one supporter. Like, he's great. It helps that he's an artist himself. I mean, he's a painter, so it helps that he has that artistic background. He gets that what I do makes me feel good about myself and about my life. So, but I think that helps a lot. But never once has there nothing but supportive, and I'm very, 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 very lucky.
So, did you have to tell him about your career, or was it more like he kind of already knew because he stalked you or something?
Well, he kind of knew, but like I said, I wasn't as into it as I am now. I think he probably thought I was like really into it. I wasn't. I was kind of just beginning when we first met. So I think he's seen me progress throughout the past 2 years. He's just seen my career grow, and he's just been like, wow, wow, wow. So I think just the fact that we met when we did is just like, it was perfect timing because like he kind of just grew with me with it.
Oh, so adorable. I love people like him. Just fucking supportive. We need as many support systems as possible. So you fans too as well, like keep giving us your awesome fucking compliments and, you know, just awesome questions because we love it. I mean, I don't know for Jordan, she obviously has to speak for herself, but I love reading those. They make me blush every time. They make me laugh every time. Every time I do say ha or LOL, I'm seriously actually laughing out loud. Like, it's fun.
Yeah. Any sort of motivation is just like, it's amazing. It's just like, even to comment on your picture, you're like, wow, like, look at this person in whatever place is liking my picture and commenting on it. Like, oh my god, like, how cool.
Oh my god, it's always a good thing. Another question somebody has for you. They start off with a statement, or more of a compliment. Jordanlehn is my favorite model. I look up to her so much. I want to know, what does she feel is the real Jordanlehn, or what's the real Jordan, not the stereotyped image of a model?
The real me? I don't know, because, I mean, I'm always the real me. I actually feel more myself when I'm in front of a camera or behind a camera or anywhere around the camera. So I feel more myself and, like, at ease and just able to express myself when I'm around the camera, like I just said. So the real Jordanlehn is the creature that is expressing herself through photography, be it modeling or photography.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, it's like your alter ego, but not really your alter ego.
Yeah, not even really. It's just like how I actually express who I am. So it's really cool. It's really cool.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh my god, I love this interview because you're such a fucking fabulous person. All right, back to my stalker questions because I'm just very like, I want to make sure my stalking is like actually fucking awesome. So you mentioned that, you know, you are interested in traveling, and you've been traveling. You know, you've been to Dallas. I've read that you went to Oklahoma City, and obviously you're from Northern California, and you recently went to San Francisco. I'm curious as to what your thoughts with traveling as a full-time model is, as well as your experiences with them so far, and whatever else story you want to talk about.
Okay, so travel has been something I've always wanted to do more of, and I never really thought there would be a way for me to travel and to be able to survive and sustain myself, you know, by making an income. You know, like as a little girl, I was like, oh, I'll just be an airplane stewardess while I travel. But then I heard that you are working and like your travel is to sleep in like a house place.
Yeah.
No, that's not really what I want to do. Like, I want to be able to explore and take pictures and like shoot. Like, I want to shoot while I travel. So one day, I just realized, I was like, well, if I'm going to be a full-time model, like I'm going to need to travel to work with people and to make money, because not everyone in Austin is going to be able to pay me for every shoot. It's like every month. So that was a big part of it. So I think I mentioned earlier, I've been traveling places that I know I have a place to stay. And so like lately I've been traveling places that my family's at.
Okay.
So that has been my first step into traveling, is to go places where I have family so that I can get help with renting, like using their car and staying at their house. So when I went to the Bay Area this summer, I was there for about a month, but 2 of the weeks were staying with family and 1 of the weeks was shooting. So it wasn't like I was shooting the whole month, but I was gone away from my house for a month.
Yeah.
But I went and I was staying at my aunt's house, and she was so amazing to let me stay there and borrow her car the whole time I was in California. So because of that, I was able to go around and not have to pay to rent a car. Plus, I'm not even like, I think you have to be 25 to rent a car, so obviously I'm not 25, so I can't really rent a car. And I wasn't going to drive from Texas to the Bay Area in my little car just for a few shoots. So I think right now I'm kind of playing it safe and just traveling places where I have family.
Yeah.
But eventually I would like to stop doing that and go everywhere.
Yeah. And I read that you actually are going somewhere superb in December. You want to share that?
So December, 28th through January, I think 7th, I will be in Belgium and France. So, yeah, that's an amazing opportunity. I don't know how it happened, and I still can't believe that it did happen because Nico's going with me, and we'll be there for New Year's. So it's just an amazing opportunity, and I'm just so privileged to be able to just go and travel and do what I love, and like the fact that what I'm doing what I love that's brought the opportunity is just incredible to me.
And so for everyone that is tuning in, either live or later throughout this entire week, if you live in Belgium or Paris or even possibly anywhere around those areas and you want to shoot with the gorgeous Jordanlehn, you better fucking contact her now. I'm fucking serious. This is my serious face. Don't take it politely. No, but seriously, that is fucking rad. I've never actually went overseas for modeling before, and that's awesome that you have the chance to do that.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, you better like take thousands of pictures.
I will. I have my camera and I'm preparing it. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be so fun. So I'm so excited.
So do you ever plan to travel to places that you don't know anyone and you don't have your own transportation, or you maybe do, but you obviously don't know anyone there?
Right, yeah, definitely. It's hard right now because I don't have a huge capital, so not gonna lie, a lot of it has to do with my money situation.
Yeah.
So if I don't have enough money to afford a plane ticket and I don't have a number of guaranteed booked shoots in a certain time, I have to cancel the trip.
Yeah.
So I put the feelers out sometimes, if anyone in this area wants to shoot, let me know. I'd be considering coming out to this area. And it's been kind of rough because I don't really know exactly how to do it logistically, but I've been working on it. I'd love to go to Portland. I'd love to go up to LA. I'd love to go to Florida sometime because I've heard it's gorgeous. I'd love to go to the East Coast. I'd love to go to Canada. I think that's kind of weird, but I would personally love to just go to Canada, just do it in Canada. So I'd be down to go places. It's just finding out how I would make it work.
Yeah.
Where I would stay to be safe, because safety is my number one priority for myself. And how I would make it financially worth it. So
I agree with you. And like everything else with modeling, nobody gives you a rule book and tells you, here, this is exactly what you should do. So when you mentioned it earlier, I personally recommend that you ask other models. Don't be fucking scared. I know I'm always scared for everything I do, but the worst case scenario, if you send either a photographer or a model or somebody in the industry a message, the worst case scenario, they're going to say no or not respond, but the high chances of them just at least looking at your work or seeing your name is all that you really need, because
that's true. That's very true.
It's just a way to get yourself out there even more. I mean, when we first did it, obviously I remembered you to the point where you're here right now. So it's always very beneficial to just, even if you're scared or petrified, I personally think it's better doing it on messages, because if you are scared or shy, because obviously it's on messages that you're not face to face with this person, but it helps you develop that social anxiety to be able to do it in person, which is something I'm currently learning with now. But in my experiences, I mean, I don't know if you listened to the episode where I actually did talk about my travel stories.
Yeah, I was taking notes.
It is, yeah. And again, that's my personal opinion. That's something that worked for me. Obviously, I mean, I talked about couch surfing, and I liked couch surfing more than I personally can't see myself doing hostels. I can't handle groups of people at one time. Couch surfing's more individual and more secluded, and you get this more personal interest with somebody more than staying at a hostel. And so it's something constantly you need to do research and ask a lot of people, and just obviously, like we said, put your feelers out and see what works for you, and things like that. Because I know when I did it, I just say, fuck it, I'm just going to my first one, I was like, I'm gonna go to Dallas, Oklahoma City, to Kansas City, St. Louis, and then come back down. That's it. I didn't even book any shoots. I'm just gonna fucking do it and try to book as much as I can and plan the time and all this other stuff. And that personally works for me. I pick places and say, all right, that's what I'm gonna fucking do, and then I go after that, and then go in those cities and say, hey, I'm coming to your town, or hey, I would like to crash in your place, or whatever. And I know there's constant girls that, you know, they travel, and they, you know, when they, well, obviously they travel, but when they do travel, they fly. I haven't flown to a city, you know, that I didn't know a place or a person. So, and definitely I like having a vehicle so I can get to these places and not have to rely on anyone else. And
Yeah.
so I personally am like, that's way out of my, you know, understanding. So that's a question that I would like to ask, you know, for other models that have done it. And like Teresa Manchester, she last year or whatever, she went to a fucking Europe tour where she went to like China and Bangkok, or Bangkok is in China, Thailand, and all those other places. And I'm like, fucking rad! Like, oh, Teresa,
Yeah.
God.
That's the dream.
Yeah, that's the dream. One day I asked her, she's just currently busy, but one day I'll have her in an episode and I'll make sure to fucking talk about that for everyone else that are looking to travel, because that's ridiculous that she did it.
It's amazing, yeah.
It's ridiculously awesomely amazing, but that's awesome. Yeah, God, I give you props to going to fucking Belgium and Paris and maybe all the other places. Ah, you
So excited.
lucky son of a gun.
Oh.
Other questions that other people have for you. Again, I have to like read and look. The girl in the background photo is pretty smoking. I would assume they're talking about Jordanlehn. So, hey, this is Jordanlehn. If you just showed up, she is fucking smoking. Look at her sexy self. That's my cat call. Don't even question me. To Jordan, smiley face. Since you said that you are a pocket goth, will you be doing the whole Laura Dor / Sweetie Cyan, sorry, I really don't know that word, thing? Hopefully you know who she is.
I don't.
Alright, I can't show you. Oh, wait, yeah, no, I can't show you. Okay, sorry, never mind. So Laura Dor, Sweetie Cyanide. Cyanide
Cyanide makes sense, yeah.
It's Cyanide.
Okay.
So I don't know who any of those are.
I don't know who those are either. I'll have to look them up, but I think more so, like, when I say I'm a pocket goth, it's because, like, I've always been into, like, the alternative scene, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, I've always been more kind of, like, just quiet and more, like, I like my neutral colors, I like my darker scene stuff, like, I was, like, a little scene kid when I was growing up, so I think it just kind of transitioned to the point I am where I am now, where I'm just kind of classy.
Yeah.
And it's like this dress, like stuff like this, like I have creepers. I just decided to stop buying colors because I don't wear them.
Yeah.
And I just decided, like, I'm kind of more into, like, the alternative and kind of, like, some darker things. Like, I have antlers on my desk. Like, I don't know, like, I just call myself that because, like, people make jokes about it, and I just kind of embrace it, so.
I mean, fuck it. Embrace it all. Embrace your well-being and be fucking who you want to be.
Exactly.
That's awesome. Hold on, still reading. Okay, so you answered that one. Okay, so that was not supposed to be a smile. Oh, wow, okay. Hold on, I'm sorry, I'm reading and talking at the same time. Okay, question again. Also, there's a picture you shot with Hector Hernandez, where you're in a black veil cloud with red gloves. Could you explain that shoot?
Okay, so Hector is awesome. I've been shooting with him for about a year now, helping with his art. His art's amazing. Like, he's at gallery shows, like, all over the world. Like, he's sold prints, and it's just very inspiring to be able to work with him because he's actually going places with his art, and it's so cool to see and so cool to be a part of.
Yeah.
So for that particular image was actually, like, maybe 2 weeks ago, I think. We were just, after I got back from California, he's like, hey, I have all these ideas, like, want to help me out? I'm like, of course, like, I'll be over there this weekend. So we were just hanging out for a good part of the day, and he kind of, like, he was saying how he wants to kind of get back into doing some different stuff. So he pulled out this big tutu, which is actually this Victoria's Secret tutu, and I put it around my head like this, so my head is sticking out. I flipped it over. He had these red gloves that he wanted to do something with, and then he had, like, this black canvas and this black balloon on this white wall.
Yeah.
And so we were just playing with it. Honestly, like, the best, usually when I collab with Hector, it's just to play with ideas, and just, he says, okay, here's what I have, let's make something happen with it. So for that one, I'm assuming they're talking to the one where I had something above my head.
Probably.
or something. Pretty much we were just playing around with what was available. And I thought with the gloves, I want to do something very dramatic with my arms. And the tutu was covering my face, so they couldn't see my face. So I just, just embraced it and kind of went for it.
Oh, I love that photo. That photo was adoring. I've actually, living in Austin, I knew Hector before I left. I've never met him. I shot with Bill Hunley and Jessa Peters, and they were doing a collaborative imagery for, I guess, a gallery as well as like a little book or something.
Yeah.
I wasn't a part of it, but I knew of it going on, and actually my friend Taylor Messenger was actually in that, and I think there was another girl that I shot with prior that was in it as well, and so I kind of knew his work from Bill and Jessa, which was awesome, but I left too soon to even say hi to him and say, hey, love your work or whatever, but
okay, yeah.
That's
For people who have not checked out his work or don't know who he is, definitely look him up. Hector Hernandez, Austin, Texas. Very modern art, very quirky, but very inspiring and very fun to be part of, so.
Yeah, it's good to be a part of that type of thing, too.
It is.
It just influences you and makes you feel so much more creative than, like you said earlier, standing in front of a blank wall and just nothing else.
You need to be understand that it's art. And he's always you just get what I'm doing, and I'm like, well, I'm an artist first and foremost, so I get the art aspect to it. So it's so fun.
Oh my god, that's so awesome. Okay, again, back to my soccer questions, because I gotta at least make sure I have get some answers out of this. So I'm thinking which one I want. I wrote it down. Okay, so I'm not sure how long ago you mentioned this. It had to have been not too long ago because it's kind of lower on my list. But you had a spiel, I think I found it on Tumblr, of talking about a movie called Ouija, from the Ouija boards, and you had a very heartfelt, little, article from yourself talking about your thoughts on Ouija boards. And I felt like it would be interesting if you could share your thoughts on Ouija boards. Because I've never messed with one. I've just heard stories about it. And you can, hate on me all you want, but I personally believe in ghosts. And I fucking get scared of shit like that. So Ouija boards is, one of those things I'm like, I fucking ain't letting that shit near me. No fucking way.
That's smart. So, in the famous words of Sir Ronnie Radke, don't mess with Ouija boards.
Definitely gonna keep going with my life thing, because I'm definitely not touching that shit.
Just don't. So that rant, I was angry. I think that was a few months ago. I had seen the trailers to this movie, and I kept thinking great. Now we're glamorizing playing with Ouija boards, and now all these kids, we're reintroducing the Ouija board scene to kids, and because kids watch scary movies, that's who's drawn to scary movies. And just the fact that a movie's going out, on such a large scale about Ouija boards to, society. I just got a text from my best friend just saying, thank you. Anyways, the fact that the movie like that is going out to society, it's probably not encouraging it, but kids are curious, and just the fact that kids are curious is dangerous, because things like that are real. I don't care what anyone says. I was raised religious, I'm still religious, but just the fact that things like that are out there, they're real. I don't care what anyone thinks. They're definitely real, and it's not something to mess with. And, I can talk about it for hours, but I'm not going to right now. So if anyone has any questions about it, I've definitely had some experiences with, energies and ghosts and spirits, and I'll just leave it, like I said, again, from Ronnie Radke, do not mess with Ouija boards. If you have not heard that song, go listen to it. It's just not something you want to mess with. It can make or break your life. It's just not good.
Yeah, you don't want to risk, it breaking your life just in hopes that it will make your life.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
Yeah, like I said, I've never experienced one. I don't even think I've ever really been close to one. Because if I did see one, I'd fucking book it. Don't even get me near one. But I remember a story my brother told. He had a roommate. It was actually his roommate's brother, and his roommate's brother played with the Ouija board. And I'm apparently, let me know if I'm wrong, but apparently you're supposed to clear out your entire mind before you actually start playing it, because that's they can attach to whatever's going through your head and all this crazy fucking shit that blows my mind. But anyways, but apparently his roommate's brother was playing with the Ouija board and apparently didn't clear his mind enough or something, but eventually got something to attach to himself. And, like, there was one story where he was sleeping on the couch, like, you know, no big deal, but then had this feeling as if somebody was on top of him and he couldn't get up. And, like, nobody was obviously there, but just he had this, like, big energy just on top of him that just was keeping him, you know, from being still. And that just fucking shit blows my mind. And I know tons of people, or not even tons, but I know people don't believe in ghosts and, you know, all that paranormal type stuff. And I've personally never experienced anything like it, but when I was a very young girl, and I told my sister this, like, recently, she fucked my brain up from the day I was young. I remember watching those scary stories about ghosts. Like, I remember 13 Ghosts, you know, came on and all that other stuff, and I was so scared of them, and my sister was like, oh, you know, don't worry about ghosts. They don't kill you. They just make you kill yourself. I'm like a 7-year-old fucking girl watching these scary movies, and I'm like,
yeah.
Okay. Yep, that's definitely...
That's so awful.
Fuck my brain up. So I've never personally think I've ever experienced one. I don't ever want to have the fucking chance to because I don't want somebody to make myself kill myself.
Yeah. Yeah. Short and sweet. It's real. I've had experiences. Since then, my whole life's been different because of it. It just opens you up to something that it can change your life, like I said. So short and sweet. Don't mess with them. It's real. It's real. Like, I'll just put it at that. Like, it's real, and I wish it wasn't, but it is, so.
To bring a little light into this very dark situation I threw us in, a comment was, I think your eyes are astonishingly captivating. And then this is a comment, or question, but what feature about yourself do you feel best accentuates I'm so fucking jacking this shit up. But what feature about yourself do you feel best accentuating in your shoot? Basically, what feature about yourself do you feel best accentuates yourself in your shoots?
Honestly, my eyes, actually. For me personally, I love my eyes. They're kind of like this goldish green color, and for photographers who know their stuff about retouching, they can my eyes are fun to play with. I'll say that as a photographer myself, people that have my color eyes, you can do whatever you want to them, and it's really cool. So personally, I like my eyes because I can make these very cool expressions and make good contact with the camera.
Yeah.
Photographers, I don't know what happened. I don't know how this happened, but every photographer falls in love with my butt.
Girl, you gotta rock a booty, you might as well flaunt it.
Yeah, so I guess that's kind of an added answer.
Oh my god. The booty. I wish I had. I have a few people to talk about my derriere, but obviously more people talk about my boobies than anything else. And they'll talk about my face, but in my head I'm like, boobies, booty. I love my eyes and my mouth, but the most comment, I don't hate it. It's very endearing and it makes me feel so much positive about it, but I hate it to death is this dang thing right in the middle of my face. Like, people give me so many compliments on my nose, and I'm like, the fuck are you looking at? I hope you see it.
No, I agree. Like, your side profile is so adorable. You have, like, this little scoopy nose, and it's so cute, and it's just, like, perfect. And, like, even straight on, like, it's just, I don't know what you're complaining about, so.
I will agree. My side profile, I love my side profile. I love it to death. My straight on, like, every photo I get back, if there's a straight on, I'm like, and I have to have Francis, because I'll get images back, and I actually, majority of the images you see, I don't pick them. Like, Francis picks them for me, because he's an artist, so he'll pick the most, compositional ones that have a creative mindset and all this crazy shit. I'll pick whatever I think I look pretty in, and so there's one notorious photo that I have on my Tumblr page that I hate so much, but Francis loves it to dear, and I'll pull it up for everyone watching, but to describe it, it basically is the one where I'm standing outside and there's nothing but greenery right behind me, green like leaves and stuff, and I do believe I'm topless, but I have black gloves on, and I'm trying to find it while I'm talking at the same time.
I think I know which one it is.
Oh, God. And I'm making the most ridiculous, like, face I could ever imagine. Holy shit, I hate this fucking photo so much. And Francis loves it. And so I'm like, whatever, I trust you, all this other stuff. And, like, to this day, I still don't like it. But I trust him. And I'm like, whatever, we'll make it work. I'm trying to find it, so just bear with me, everyone. But, I just, like, there's times, again, I just can't see it. But then people love that photo. And I'm like, why? Like, out of every photo that I might post, you pick that one to go, like, quote-unquote viral or whatever. I'm like, I can't see it. I literally... This one! So much. I'm throwing it over you real fast, just so people can see it. So the ones that are viewing and watching YouTube right now, it's that fucking photo. I hate it. I have red lipstick, I have an eye patch, I have high-waisted shorts, and, like, these fishnets and black gloves. I hate it. It's... Okay, back to you, Jordan. So...
I'll see what picture it is. I'm sure it's good.
Oh, thank you.
I think, honestly, because, like, I have issues with that, too. Maybe I should let Nico pick my pictures for me, because I always pick the ones I like you, but, I think it takes someone else, because we get so used to what we think is good, but then we end up maybe, like, a certain point in time we pick the same poses over and over. So for someone else with, like, fresh mind and a fresh view, like, I feel like that might be beneficial.
Yeah, it definitely helps. But, again, he sometimes picks shit I don't like, and I'm like, I'll trust you, but just let you know, I fucking hate this. Alright, sorry, I just went on a rampage with that. Again, picking. Oh, yeah. So, again, I stalked you, like I've been saying for the past, like, 20, 30 minutes. I've seen that your bucket list, one thing, was to shoot nudes in Alaska. Is that still, like, on your to-do list?
Yes. Yeah, definitely. That'd be really cool. I've seen brief pictures of Alaska, and I have a huge bucket list. Like, I probably add something to it at least once a week, and sometimes it's joking, sometimes it's serious. Sometimes it had just happened, and I said bucket list check, so it's really random, but Alaska is so gorgeous, and I'm not really necessarily talking about, like, the icy Alaska that I've seen some pictures of. I'm kind of more so talking about just, like, the mountainy and, like, rivery Alaska with some snow. So I think that would be just definitely bucket list to do that. Like, definitely, like, higher up on the bucket list because that's so amazing.
I need to make a bucket list. I just fucking go with the flow of everything I do, and I'm like, just leave it.
Well, the cool thing about bucket lists is, like I said, if you just have already finished something, you can just be like, oh, I guess that is bucket list worthy, and I can check it off now. So.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's amazing. Oh, I want to go to Alaska too. It seems like a nice little place to visit at least once in your life.
Oh, yeah.
I had a very, I'm trying to think of a word, but I can't think of the word. Well, I have this very important question that I want to ask you. And I do not want you to take my question or my statement as a negative for you, or I don't want you to get mad for me, asking this question, because I feel like it can come off wrong, but I do not mean it whatsoever. But basically, with my career, I'm 5'3", I obviously have some boobies and a very, curvaceous body, voluptuous. Nah, it's not really voluptuous, but it's kind of, curvaceous. And obviously when people see me, they automatically assume I do glamour shoots, which is totally fine. I've shot glamour, and I still, to this day, sprinkle, a little bit into my life right now. But I'm trying to go past that and go into more fashion, high-end, lifestyle, urban type of fashion that will challenge my brand and give me something to, perform at a different, higher level compared to just, easily going into the glamour route where I can probably succeed much faster and, be fucking awesome and famous by this point. With you, I do notice you shoot, nudes, obviously, of course, but you also shoot glamour. And, again, I don't want you to take offense to this, but your body is definitely glorious for more fashion-type stuff. You're how tall are you?
I'm 5'7" and a half.
Yeah, obviously. You're pretty fucking tall. Obviously from 5'3", and you do have a gorgeous body, but, obviously it goes more towards the fashion route. personally, for in your words and in your opinion and what you've been through, how do you personally think that type of labeling affects yourself and your career, as well as with your thoughts on pushing the envelope to pursue glamour and not just do what everyone else, is wanting you to do?
Well, actually, the funny thing is I don't really necessarily categorize myself into one genre. More often when I get shoot offers, it's for glamour.
Yeah.
So, because that's what, a lot of the photographers want to shoot a sexy girl in sexy lingerie and, so that's kind of like the typical thing to do in the freelance community, I feel like, just like the hobbyist photographers and stuff. Since day one, I've been pursuing the fashion kind of couture route. So, like, that's where my heart is, actually. And the funny thing is being 5'7.5" isn't good enough still. So, I don't know why I photograph very tall. I just don't get a lot of fashion offers, and I'm not sure why. But it's something I've always been pursuing. So, like, as soon as I get an opportunity to shoot fashion, I go for it. And I actually just wrapped up this 8-hour shoot, and it was just fashion editorial all day.
Oh.
And it was amazing because it's like what I feel like I'm the best at, So I went. I got challenged. I did some crazy looks. Like, it was so fun. And this photographer I guess he was pretty pleased because he wants to do more with me. So I'm hoping it was a good step in the right direction for me to actually get recognized that, hey, like, oh, she actually can do fashion. Like, yeah, maybe she's not like 6 feet, but she knows like her poses. She knows how to work with the wardrobe, and maybe we can actually start booking her more for fashion. So fingers crossed. I love doing glamour. It's fun. Like, it's kind of easy to me because like it's just like, all right, well, like, I look cute,
Yeah.
but fashion is like fashion and couture, like that type of thing. The more avant-garde. That's where my heart is, and I feel like that's a direction I would love to go. Like, as soon as I get the opportunities, and as soon as people start booking me for that, I'll be all over that.
Oh yeah. I love everything about clothes. I shoot nudes, but I don't sleep in the nude. I get like self-conscious a lot, and I just love fucking clothes. My dream is to be a fashion designer, other than
Yeah, I've seen some of your sketches and designs, and I'm like, and I have seen some of your lifestyle stuff. I feel like you've been doing a lot more since you moved. Maybe, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I've kind of noticed you've been doing more like lifestyle and kind of like urban-y things, and I think you rock it. Like, I don't know, like where you get your clothes, but you have like such a great sense of style. Like, I've seen some things I think you've designed, I'm not quite sure. Like, I'm excited for you because like I think eventually it's just going to take off. So.
Oh, you're so sweet. I'll give you a lowdown on where I get my clothes. It's called Goodwill.
Really?
Yeah. I'm cheap. I literally, again, like you, I can only afford so much. I can't afford to buy Gucci and Louis Vuitton and all that high-end shit. And if I could, I probably fucking still wouldn't unless they're gonna like pay me to do it. Then I'm like, hey, I'll definitely advertise you on my shit. But yeah, Goodwill is just the place to be. I mean, that's where I found this dope-ass New York hoodie. I mean, come on now.
There you go. See, I need to think better about that. Like, I was in San Francisco and I was thrift shopping like the whole day because there's so many places there. But for some reason, my luck here in Austin hasn't been the greatest. Like, I find okay clothes, but I guess my style, I'm kind of picky.
Yeah.
I like a good vintage, like, dress or something, but I'm kind of picky, so.
Yeah, it's hard thrift shopping. Another question from one of our lovely fans. I guess this is for both of us. I know this is goofy, but if you had to choose, would you rather want the power of invisibility or the ability to read minds? You can go first, Jordan.
Okay, invisibility, because I think I would feel, oh my god, so overwhelmed if I could read minds. It'd be like a curse. It would not be a power. That'd be awful. So, invisibility would be great. I could probably use that a lot. You know that shoot where you're like somewhere that there's people and you have to shoot nude and you're like, well, here it goes. Like, that'd be such a useful like power to have.
That would.
Just be like, oh, okay, person, invisible, like.
Yeah, that would be fucking, oh my god, I'm just imagining if I had that power when I do those types of shoots. It'd make me feel so much comfortable with myself a lot. I personally think I would want to read minds just because I remember when I was younger, I was in elementary school and I was walking to like go inside the school building And I had the thought, like, I wonder what this so-and-so person is thinking about right now. Like, a person that's walking right in front of me. I'm, like, curious on what they're thinking at this, very second. And I don't know, I feel like I would enjoy it. Like, I know it would be, like, X-Men, and it would also be, like, Bruce Almighty, those movies that they actually had kind of those, mind reads. But and how, like, they feel so cluttered and flustered and feels like it brings them down and feels like shit. But, like, I know that I probably would be too much, but I feel like once you control it, you can, like, fucking rule the world.
That could be pretty cool. I think if you kind of, like, learned how to use it to your advantage, maybe. But, like I said, personally, I think I would just be sad if I had that.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Another question, and this will be the last question. As an artist, has Nico ever done any paintings or interpretations of you?
No, I mean, we've drawn, like, notes to each other and stuff, but he's never actually, like, gone full force and trying and putting a lot of effort into it. But I've been, trying to push him, like, hey, you need to do more art, like, and I've kind of introduced him to the, like, idea of maybe, not even me, but just painting, like, models or people, because I feel like his stuff is very, like, modern and kind of, I just think it'd be a cool, like, venue for him to try. So obviously if he did try that, I would offer, like, he can try to, like, do painting or something or incorporate, like, a picture of me into it so he's comfortable. So we'll see what happens with it. I think it's an idea, but hopefully maybe he'll think about it because I think he can be really talented. So
yeah, that's definitely true. And it's funny because me and you are models, but our significant others are artists. So you can show him Francis Leo's work if you want. That's all up to you, obviously. But I mean, it's interesting seeing the art lifestyle, because that's how me and Francis met. Was I posed nude, or I posed for his art class, and so him, especially Nico, getting out there and just starting to do figure drawings and stuff like that is very, like, a good stepping stone to just
I agree.
Love, obviously. So I mean, obviously it'll find itself out, but. Jordan, I definitely do appreciate you tuning in, and I do apologize for all the lagging and the probably poor quality that this video is going to be on YouTube, but who fucking cares? They can get over it. But I do want to ask if there is any last words you want to mention. I feel like there's something that you want to announce to everyone.
If anyone is interested in seeing more, go to my website and check out my links. Also, big announcement, right before the show started, I launched my online store. So there's only a few things in it right now because, like I said, I literally just launched it before we logged on to here.
Yeah.
So it's I think there's 4 t-shirts, 4 different types of t-shirts, and I think there is a signed print option. Someone bought one of my Polaroids in the first 5 minutes, so that was kind of crazy. So I'll keep that updated. I'll update my social media when I update more stuff, but that's kind of something I've been wanting to do, so feel free to check it out. Thanks for having me, and have a great time. Thank you.
I'm so excited, and yes, definitely go buy all of her stuff, make her sell out, and make her feel so much awesome about herself, and make her rich for a change. And also, again, check out her stuff. And if you're in Belgium or Paris or anywhere else around the world,
anywhere else,
and you want to shoot the lovely, fabulous, oh so talented Jordanlehn, you have to contact this gorgeous vixen or else. Jordan, I definitely, again, appreciate it so much, and I will talk to you soon, my dear.
Thank you so much for having me. Bye.
Bye. So, everyone, that was Jordanlehn, and I definitely hope all of y'all enjoyed. She is definitely someone you need to keep an eye out and follow her work and be a supported fan if you're not, and, just have an awesome, superb time. So I hope you enjoyed, and next week I would like to announce that I'm not getting tongue-tied, I'm so excited. Next week, I will have another special guest, and her name is Taylor. She is the owner of Housewife Swag on Tumblr, as well as the own personal site. If you do not know who she is, I definitely will link her to you as soon as this is done, as well as on my YouTube. So definitely, you don't want to miss out on her, because she is so rad. So definitely check that out. And on top of it, like I always say at the end, just be cool, be sweet, and be yourself. And also, don't forget, tomorrow, if you live in America, it is September 11th. We're celebrating, or not really celebrating, that's kind of rude to fucking say. We're looking back in the past and, honoring the ones that were lost and the ones that survived the dramatic situation that we had back in 2001. So definitely keep your heads up, but also make sure that you have at least a moment of silence for the ones that lost somebody. And again, be nice, be cool, and have a superb day and evening and night and whatever time it is wherever you are. So bye everyone, and have an awesome day. Yay!